Alright guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the front, come back here to the back of the car. Been looking at this, I want to retain these backup lights, the light for the license plate, shave that of course because no longer necessary, we've got a door on the side of the car, and make one little adjustment to kind of take away the awkwardness. This feature here, rather than it fading off just before this taillight ring, I'm going to take and extend it into the taillight ring. If you look at the curvature, now I've used a straight edge earlier, it actually fades off to within that point right there, about 3/4 inches back from the outside of the ring, which is going to look quite trick. It'll streamline the back end. I like the way that looks. Feature, it's comfortable, everything works, except for this part here. And since these rings are going to be part of this rear bumper, it's part of the bumper anyway, but we're going to just take that and just run it in to that. It'll give it a nice elegant line from side to side. It's not as complicated as the front. The front, I've been doing a whole lot of welding up there. Going to let it cool off a bit, and then we're going to get into dressing it and cleaning it up, and I'll bring you guys in at that point. We're making a little change with this grille. Looking at the headlights, kind of looks a little bug-eyed, like surprised. Ah, it's a big hole. See, this fits in really well with this shape here. They just had it down lower. Well, how about them apples, guys? So there's our pressed paper template. It's going to sit in there just like that. What I'm looking at doing basically is just cutting just before it starts diving off here, somewhere about there. Just cut this little thing off, form up some new pieces, and then run them into the light. Might even do it as a one piece versus what we did at the front out of segments. Brackets have been created. You can see they've been welded to the back side of the bumper, the studs. So that's all been addressed. And now we just need to finalize the outside. You can see these bumpers are in pretty rough shape. We assume that with them being wrapped in plastic and being kind of encased in protective oil of whatever kind was used, it would have saved them, but after all the years of sitting around, well, you can see they're not too pretty. Alright guys, so we've got the ends opened up, and as I was cutting I was thinking actually we're going to sweep these ends, if you will, in a little bit more. So instead of coming into about here, we're going to kind of bring them in a little bit tighter, and that'll give this a little more accent. Not too much. You want to look like this was stuck on or an afterthought, which is what this almost looks like. It's like these were added on to some bumper, or the bumper was from another car that kind of worked with this. We want it to look integrated. This part of this flows in smooth, nice. Let me get some templates made up and we can start fabricating the new pieces. Sometimes it might take more than one take at making a template. The closer I can get this, the easier it'll be to form up the sheet metal. Yeah, it's looking good. We need to pick that up like that. This has to run in horizontally. And it might be a good idea at this point to put a mark right there as to where that's going to land, so I'm not 1/4 inch out and you'll notice it from 20 feet away. So it's half, and just the template works on both sides. A little bit of a gap there at the back, actually here and there, so I can just make a mark here. It'll remind me to add a little bit. I know that's to add the thickness of a marker. These little things here, that's not gouges in the metal. That's actually the old paint that the paint stripping disc didn't take off. I use a paint stripping disc to remove all the paint on this deck lid, and this is just a leftover of the paint. 80 grit will take care of all this. You won't see any of these little swirl marks or any of that stuff. So it'll clean up really nice. We're back to the brake. I'm going to make some little adjustments to this plate as well. Same as before, everything's been relaxed. Ooh, that's a nice. Bottom is more flat than the top based on what's on the car. So let's go fit this and see how it looks. Yeah, okay, so the material I added earlier was a bit much, and I've squeezed this tight, too tight. So two things we're going to do. First, we're going to open that up a little bit, and second, we're just going to open this up a bit. And try again. Gotta go a little bit more open over here. Okay, that's coming in well. Scribe that. Scribe that. That's fitting good. Let's see what that says once we grind that back. All right, piece is fitting quite well. I had to make a little adjustment on the radius. So now we can put a few tacks on it, stand back, take a look, make sure that that crease is exactly where it needs to be, or the feature, and weld it up. All right guys, I've got the gas filler door in the back bumper filled, the ends extended into the tail lights, and it's looking really sweet. There's a little more metal finishing to do, but I need to take the bumper off, unbolt it from the body, and finish up a few areas on the inside before anything is smoothed on the outside. Just the way it goes. I'd love to finish it, but there's a few more, well, the brackets have to be finalized in there that hold this bumper on the car. So all that'll be addressed and then refitted to the car and final metal finish, which is really, really close now. This stuff in the back trunk deck lid, I need to work that out yet. There's Bondo and stuff filling the holes, the dents. So I need to get that taken care of. So with that said, let's go to the front. And as you can see, got the bumper all finalized. Everything's been smoothed, metal finished. There's a little more trimming to do. That little flange there that extends inside needs to be taken off. And I've actually started fitting that grill into this opening. These buckets need to be adjusted, and the grill itself needs to be adjusted. It's a bit too long for the opening that we have. Give me a second to fit it in, and we will have a look at it. Now I'm going to fit this up, but you have to understand it's going to sit a bit further back. We have this bezel that's in our way, and I need the grill to sit back here, not on top of it. But for a mock-up, let's just give it a shot, see what it looks like. There we go. This snaps right in. Now, like I said, we're sitting on top of this bezel, so it's shooting up that way. I need to trim it up a little bit, up in there. I don't want to break it either, so yeah, right there. And the other thing is we gotta move over a little bit. Oh, that fits a little bit better. Line up the center line. I just mocked these rings up here just to give it a little bit more dimension. And in terms of contrast, before and after, let's hold this thing up. This used to sit right up in there, and it feels heavy. It is heavy, but I mean, it makes the front look heavy. Here we've streamlined everything. Headlights, grille, bumpers continuous from end to end. And then I've got these turn signals. They're gonna slide right in there, bolt up, and we'll make one final grille there and one across the center. That's pretty much it. So we got a lot of work accomplished here. Got this mocked up for the most part. Like I said, there's some more work to do. We're not going to get to it today. It's been one hot day. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on building a new bumper for the 63 Thunderbird 6-speed sports car we're building and mocking up the grille. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Until next time, guys, take care. This is a huge motivational milestone. When you get something like this all finalized, brought together, it really gets the adrenaline going to go on to the next stage, which, well, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do next. You guys will have to find out next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends.